Suppressing your real self is not the act of kindness. It is the biggest disservice that you can do to yourself and to others. Because when you put the pressure of being perfect on yourself, you unknowingly start to have the same expectation of others, and that's how people are not able to be comfortable around each other in today's world, where we are chasing a lot of perfection. And that's why a lot of human evolution scientists and researchers are saying that in today's world we need more authenticity than we need perfection. Hence today's video is about how can we live more authentically. I'm going to share few signs that you may be living a fake life where you are thinking that this is how the world works and I have to be on this hamster wheel of fulfilling expectations, and then there will be a time where I am going to be supremely happy and I'm going to get the reward of all this self-sacrifice. Well, that day doesn't come, and you don't have to suffer till that day comes, if it comes. So if you are able to live in this highest vibration called as authenticity, you are not going to need that external validation. You're not going to need people to like you. You're not going to need people to say that, hey, Rutuja, you're doing an amazing job, because Rutuja knows it what she's doing. So if you want to have that kind of confidence and trust in yourself, and that is the highest vibration that you can stay in, you'll see that opportunities and people become magnetic towards you. And the goal is actually not magnetism, but it comes as the result of authenticity. A lot of opportunities that align with you come your way. And not seeking external validation doesn't mean that you will not need advice. It's okay to take advice from people who are few steps ahead of you, who have seen the journey, who know the journey, but you'll be able to quickly judge whether this advice is in alignment with you or is it not in alignment with you. Now, this video is also about reclaiming your sovereignty. What does the word sovereign mean? You might have said it repeatedly when you were reciting the preamble, the Constitution of India, and the word is there for a purpose. It says that we, the people of India, decide the rules and regulations of this country, which is the Constitution of India, which is drafted by the people of India at that time. So India was a colony of the Britishers, and the Britishers used to decide what would be the rules, regulation, laws, and we were living under British rule. So sovereignty for an individual means that we have a mind, body, and a spirit. So when I say spirit or soul, it is that knowing who is observing everything, who's observing you watching me this video, and who is observing you when you go to sleep and you say that I had a deep sleep. So who knows you had a deep sleep? That is something which is called as consciousness, especially in the Eastern cultures and Eastern philosophies. So we are the system of mind, body, and the spirit. And there is something that governs this system, and that's not external, it is internal. But when we totally forget about that and we are completely disconnected to our inner self, we start to look for that validation on the outside. And that is how we become puppets to, what is trending, what is going on, what sale is going to happen. We start to purchase based on that. And then we wonder that why our life is such automated, why our life has become so robotic, and why there is, no essence of genuineness, authenticity, sustainability. Hence, all of these discussions become very, very important. Now that we have understood the importance of authenticity, let's start with the first sign of fakeness. The first sign of fakeness is that there is a huge gap between your real self and your ideal self. Now, a lot of people are not able to take action because they know the moment they take action, their ideal self is going to be destroyed. Okay, for example, somebody thinks that, oh, I'm a great public speaker, I'm a great orator. The moment I start my YouTube channel, I'm going to be flooded with subscribers and followers and all of that. And when this person actually makes the YouTube channel, they see that first few hundreds of subscribers also could be difficult to get. Nobody can guarantee, right? For some people it can happen quickly, for some people it cannot. But if the person has made this ideal self as somebody who is very much appreciated by public all the time, now that ideal self gets destroyed and the real self starts to come up. And a lot of times people are not able to accept this real self. Second thing that one of my clients said this, that he was doing a bowling practice and he was able to put down all the 9 pillars or the bottles are there in a bowling match. But when he saw the video of himself playing that, he said, I had imagined myself in a very different way, like, a sports person putting the ball and just slamming all the 9 bottles. But I didn't look that way. I was, all awkward. And I said, that's okay, that's you, but you won eventually. How does that matter whether you're looking like a hero or you were not looking like a hero? But then this ideal self, it says that this is how I want to look, and the attention is not on how am I actually looking. So when this gap is huge, and when you are not able to let yourself be seen as somebody who is learning something, is feeling a little awkward when they are doing something new, all of these are very natural, normal human emotions, right? For example, I recently posted a dance video where I am dancing like a newbie. I'm not very, experienced as a dancer. I used to just dance in college, and here I have just copied a choreography from one of the Instagram reels, and that too I did wrong. But that video is quite cute and very adorable when I look at it. So if you are not able to accept your real self, that it may look awkward, it may look weird, but it's cute. If you're not able to appreciate it, that there is a huge gap between your real self and your ideal self. When a small child puts the first step, the baby step, and if the parents start to say, oh my god, such a awful step, when I was putting my first step, I put it so well. Parents don't say that, right? They clap no matter how crooked that step is. We need to show the same excitement when we take a first step towards something, and that's how we will be able to continue our journey towards our real self. Second sign, which is a very prominent sign, is that your body starts to give you signal. You start to fall sick more frequently, and there are certain signals that can repeatedly tell you about certain things. For example, when I am going in a direction where I don't want to go, my body very clearly tells me that, especially through there was a time when I was doing a lot of things that were not in my alignment, and I would vomit very frequently. That can be some of the things that can tell you that this is happening. For some people it can be acid refluxes, for some people it can be headaches, but your body tells you that it has some problem with you going into that direction. Okay, and it's very, very important for you to actually see the signals. The more and more you start to align yourself to who you are as a person, your health starts to improve. Few days ago, when I was reflecting and I was in my space of journaling and meditating, it was almost like my body saying thank you, my health saying thank you to me for making certain decisions which were difficult but were very essential for my health and for my betterment of my body and all of that. So these things help you to stick to your real priorities. Otherwise, you are always going to be pulled in very, very different directions. Third very prominent thing, when you are doing something that is not aligned with you and it's completely fake according to your original personality, you look a lot at others that please appreciate me, please validate me, please say that I'm doing a good thing, please, so there's a lot of people pleasing going on when you are not living an authentic life. When you're living an authentic life, you get appreciated, you get happy. You don't get appreciated, you're okay. If you get criticized, you're wanting to improve. There's some kind of a thing that keeps you moving forward without you really getting huge rewards. Even if you are going through a lot of challenges, there is something that keeps you going in that direction when you have chosen an authentic direction for yourself. And as humans, something that I've learned through my coaching, we are not afraid of challenges. We don't want a life that has no challenges. Okay, we want challenges, but the thing is, we want to choose our challenges. We want to choose that. Whether I used to think that I am facing so many challenges for an employer, it's better if I could face it for myself. So that's where I clearly knew I wanted to do something of my own. So for the time being, you can work with corporates. For the time being you can work with other people. There's nothing wrong about that. In fact, the money that you earn supports a lot in your own business, and the experience that you get from corporates also supports you in your business. But that authentic voice tells you what ultimately you are going to like, what ultimately you're going to stick to. And the sticking to is a huge problem. So the fourth sign is that you are not able to stick to things that are not naturally meant for you. So a lot of people say that, Rutuja, you know what, I have done a lot of things. I have tried out a lot of things and nothing works for me. I drop it after some time. So they come to me with the complaint of that, I'm not consistent, I'm procrastinating. The real thing is you've not found out something that you want to put your heart, soul, mind, body into. You've not found that thing. Because passion is such a strong thing. People call it overrated, but I am a living experience of that. Passion is such a strong thing that it pulls the whole of you into that subject or into that particular profession or all of that. So it also gives you the energy to face the challenges that are going to come in that particular way. So it's not about which journey is going to be less challenging. It is about which kind of challenges are you wanting to take and say yes to. And that is a very core essence of living an authentic life. The fifth thing is that there is this extraordinary peace that you feel when you are living authentically. So when you are not living authentically, you're chasing something. You don't know what you're chasing. Okay, you're chasing one high to the other, to the other. So this high can come from playing games. This high can come from watching movies. This high can come from, going from one achievement to the other, that you were the first ranker in your college. Then you also went to your corporate. There also you achieved something. There also you achieved something. So you're achieving, but some kind of fulfillment feels lacking. And as Tony Robbins says, that success without fulfillment is the ultimate failure, and that is so true. Okay, so even if you are, not in the situation where you can, follow a very authentic life right now and make all those decisions. So this shift from fakeness to authenticity does not happen in one go. You really need to start making these changes step by step. So if you take a baby step, like for me, it was just posting a YouTube video about a topic that I was interested in. If you learn to take these baby steps, this eventually happens. So from the moment that I decided that I don't want to seek a lot of external validation, to the moment where I have really start to feel that I can trust myself on the things that I decide for myself, it took almost 3 to 4 years. And that's been a long journey. But as I'm working with my clients, now I know how to shorten that journey and help you achieve that even faster. So there is a link in the description if you want to join our programs, which will help you to live more authentically, experience growth, experience emotional wellness. You can enroll for our programs. You can take one-on-one consultations. See you in the next video.